Getting ready for the opening round of the Toyota SWS Southwest Superlate race here, April 19th, 2014. Superlate models on track now. We go green flag, race number 1 of 2014. We head into turn number 1, and it is Corey Fancy, your 2013 SWS champion, leading the field in the second spot. And the number 38, who would originally drive it, be Troy Ermish this time around. It is Rick Ware's son, but you don't have the name for the first name yet. So sorry about that. In spot number 3 is the number 59. That is driven by Kevin O'Connell. Behind him, Bear Wisnowicki in the number 3 machine. And the next spot back to number 63. That is driven by Gail Chase. Michelle Nagai in the 72. The 65, George Atkinson Jr. Right behind George is the 51, Steve Hamilton. Mike Kasser in the 14 machine. Ramath in the number 20, Ed Ramath. And then rounding out the field in this one is the brightly painted with black number 4, Dennis Dyer. He's been having some issues. A lot of these drivers have had some mechanical issues heading into this race, but everybody's running pretty strong here so far. Corey Fancy out front, battle for second spot. Maybe brewing up here. Gonna be settling in here. The common trend with this SWS series is they settle in for the first 15 laps and then a 5-lap shootout to make it a 20-lap race in the daylight here at Willow Springs. These cars are what you would race at short tracks all across the country, super late model type cars. Until recently, when Willow Springs and the SWS group formed the Toyota SWS Southwest Superlates. The whole field comes by on screen. Pretty well settled in right here, going down the hill into turn number 8. Got one leader all by himself up front. Ware in the second spot. Kind of with a bit of a gap behind your leader, Corey Fancy. And down the front straightaway they go. Battle for the second spot into turn number 1. It'll be Kevin O'Connell taking the spot. Sorry for the buzzing. I'm actually trying to fix it, but I don't think I can. I think it's a done deal. We get to be annoyed with it all race long. For whatever reason, I think we have a microphone that maybe is dropped too many times. Or probably it's just literally worn out. Tired of hearing us. This microphone is. So I apologize for the inconvenience, because it's an inconvenience to me, that's for sure. Get a good look at the Antelope Valley from here at the top of the Willow Springs International Raceway, 2.5-mile road course built in 1953. Get to see some racing on screen, but as well as a great view across the Antelope Valley. Right now we're looking towards Lancaster, Palmdale area. We're located exactly in Rosamond, California, which if you take the 14 north or south, get off at Rosamond and head west. We have a battle potentially coming up right now. O'Connell does seem to be closing in on your leader, Corey Fancy. He He is there. Battle for the lead brewing here in the early stages of this race. I think someone just fell over behind me. So O'Connell trying to knock on the back bumper of Corey Fancy, 2013 SWS champion. Is O'Connell going to make the move early? Kind of settle in on the lead. What's interesting about this strategy is you can play mind games like no other at the beginning of this race, because for all we know, Corey Fancy could be kind of just cruising. But for all he knows, the 59 of O'Connell could be driving his heart out. And then O'Connell could really just be cruising as well. So you got to get that whole deal of, well, whose car is faster? You can't tell in this session. But when that yellow flag comes out and we regroup the field after whatever the invert is, that's when you get that last 5 laps shootout to be one of the most exciting things out here at the Willow Springs International Raceway. Trying to get a good view of the rest of the field. Everybody kind of spread out, maintaining their own pace. One car I don't see on track is because he did not start. Ron Esau, he's here today in qualifying. That car just quit running over in turn 2. It was parked there, had to get picked up, towed off, and now missing out of the main event. Best battle on track, this battle for the lead. Here we go. They're basically drafting. It actually is true. These things are going the speed to draft, about 130 miles an hour around this track. You gotta draft if you can. Take advantage of it. Why not? Especially right here. Heading down this long front straightaway. You see the 2 places of skid marks. This is actually used as a drag strip at some events throughout the year. It's long enough to become a drag strip. So very cool. Multi-use facility out here at Willow Springs. Now as we step back here, we got Ware in the 3rd spot, followed by Resnowicki and Chase. These two have had their share of battlings throughout the Toyota SWS out here at Willow Springs. That might come into play here again today, you never know. Still battling for the lead. Now, another thing that could be going on is O'Connell could try to be wearing out that 29. He'd be trying to wear out Corey Fancy. Try to get him to pressure him to burn up his tires and whatever else, even fatigue the driver a little bit, because Corey, you better believe, he's probably kind of keeping an eye on his rearview mirror, seeing where that 59 is on track throughout this 2.5 mile course, as that speaker pole just destroyed the camera focus. You know, these two, they look like they're, oh, never mind. Here comes O'Connell looking to the inside and all that, but to get it done. Gonna say, these two look like they actually are playing with the real estate on track, trying to figure out where they want to make the run. They're also reading off of each other's cars and how the driver likes to run this track. The track is wide enough for multiple grooves. It's just depending on how you want to set up the pass. Fancy might drive it in a particular corner harder than O'Connell. O'Connell might save it and run on the exit a little bit better than Fancy. And so these drivers are putting on a great show up front here in this one. Fun note about low budget TV. We're going to be ditching this track as soon as the checkered flag comes out, driving 100 miles across Southern California to get to Irwindale Speedway for tonight's events, filming out there, as well as running in the trailer race. So Jeffrey Best, myself, and Shayla Sins will all be running the Team Low Budget trailer race vehicles. If you haven't seen the trailer race, don't know what it is, go on YouTube, Low Budget TV, type in trailer racing, and get ready to get that popcorn out. Battle for the lead, still trying, O'Connell is, on Fancy. Very, very clean race throughout the beginning stages. Gonna see maybe a little bit more of a battle going into turn 1 with Resniewicki and Chase. Chase closer than ever now to Resniewicki. And can't keep my eye off this battle for the lead. Hamilton and Atkinson coming up through the hills here. George Atkinson Jr. in the 65, Hamilton in the 51. Look back here, down the front straightaway. Again, O'Connell's gonna try to figure out a way around Fancy, not able to get it done. A look over, coming down the front straightaway, as we see the 72, Michelle Nagai, and the number 3, Bear Resniewicki. Comes the leaders into turn number 3. Fancy kind of washing up. Here comes O'Connell looking. So it looks like O'Connell might be getting that 29 to make a few mistakes. Feeling the pressure a little bit. Oh, we got the 38 to wear off the pace in turn number 4B. As well as Resniewicki moves up the track, lets Michelle Nagai go by. It seems like the 3 is slowing down quite a bit here in this one. He could be doing some strategy of his own. Who knows what Bear's up to. But the 38 of Ware gets that car running back again. We're going to go back to see this battle for the lead. So after all that, Ware only lost 1 spot in his number 38. So he got pretty lucky right there, because that car was completely shut off, not making any noise when we showed it over in turn 4B. Your leaders. O'Connell now putting on some pressure of his own. Kind of slowing himself down, spinning the tires up the hill. He might just be doing that because of Low Budget TV though. Let's be honest. So, it continues. The best battle on track is the battle for the lead. Look over here, going down the hill. Ware and Chase. Ware in the 38, Chase in the 63. Ware is driving that 38 hard, trying to regain the spot that he lost. And we got a battle for the lead into turn number 1. O'Connell set it up down the front straightaway. and takes the spot over Corey Fancy's number 29 machine. So O'Connell now your leader here on this lap. It's not official until he crosses the line. But it looks like Corey Fancy now kind of letting his tires cool down. They're catching up the lap traffic to number 20. Ed Ramath. I believe that's how you pronounce that last name. They're going to try to get to the inside of Ed. Ed gives them the room. And their leaders get by the number 20 of Ed Ramath. Battle for third. Kind of brewing up. Michelle Nagai in that group as well. 3 cars around the same area. Oh, I heard some skid marks, and it looked like it might have been off the 3, or it could have been the drift track behind me. That's been screwing me up this entire day. They are drifting behind us. There's a drift track available for rent. Gonna look up again on the front straightaway. Battle for the lead still going on. Wind's blowing, you can hear it. You can see it down the front straightaway. Flags. Gonna look down the front straightaway again. Battle's now brewing all over the place, popping up. You hear the drift cars behind me. So Chase leading where? Here comes your leaders into turn number 3. O'Connell washes way high. Looked like he locked up the brakes, still holding on to the lead. Totally overdrove that turn 3. Got lucky he didn't lose the spot. If that goes to show that these two are settled in, that's a lie. Unless they're perfectly comfy to race them hard out here. And what'll be interesting is if they settle up 1 and 2, however the order is, and they get a big invert, they've got to come through the field and still battle for the win out here. And that's the excitement of the 5-lap shootout coming up. So you don't know what that invert's going to be. So these two, while they are battling for the lead, they could be legitimately put back into row number 3 in this one. Put them 5th and 6th. Oh, we got a car off the track, and it's Ramath in the number 20. Looked like he might have given the 3rd place battle some room, and in fact drove it off the course. An easy slide for that 20 machine in the rocks, and he might be stuck. And he might get it done. So he's driving it towards the pits. Probably have to get rocks out of his eyeballs and his teeth after that one. And these two drivers, man, they're giving it a show of their own. Plus these two right here for 3rd spot, Ware and Chase. It's a tight one. 2 battles to watch for 2 complete different spots. Here's your leaders through turns number 8 and 9. And Fancy on the back bumper of O'Connell. What's he got for the front straightaway? He's drafting O'Connell. And it's going to be O'Connell taking it into turn number 1 with Fancy right there in tow. Who's going to slip up? And we got another driver that spun out in the corner. It is Ware who spun it off track. He gets it fired back up, and he's driving down the front straightaway now. So that'll really help Gil Chase as well. Now we've got some either fatigue or tires worn out. George Atkinson Jr. into turn 4A has spun it out. Here comes your leaders. He's off track, but he's trying to get that bad boy refired up. He gets it going. throwing up a dirt trail. And we're racing again for George Atkinson Jr. This battle's not going to cool down, and I love it for it. Battle for the lead. It's the only battle on track now. Everybody else really spread out all over this track, except for these two. Kind of fighting the wind as the cameraman, so I get to do 3 things at once. And O'Connell slips up high. He might have set up turn number 9. Meanwhile, Fancy is right there. Fancy's gonna look to the driver's right going down the front straightaway. O'Connell still has a big lead though. Pretty good sized gap. Going into turn number 1 and 2. Through turn 2 here. Coming out of turn 2B. Down the short chute. I don't know. I keep wanting to say these two drivers are playing strategy, but I think they are until one makes a mistake and the other pounces, and then we're back to racing again, and then the other makes a mistake and slips back, and then we're back to strategy. That's what I've been seeing out of these top 2 throughout this 15-lap beginning of the race, I should say. We don't want to call it a shootout because the shootout really is coming up. So who's to say what's about to happen in that one? $10 tickets out here at Willow Springs International Raceway. You can come here, get a full day's worth of racing for $10. Every ticket is a pit pass. You can walk around the pits, meet the drivers, see their crews in action. Coming out here when you can, Roseman, California's Willow Springs International Raceway. And here's going to be the end of the first 15. So it'll be O'Connell leading at the checkered flag of the first 15 laps. 5 laps left to go. So, if that's a preview of what's going to happen in 5 laps, I can't wait. We'll be back. All right, here we go. The last 5 laps left of the first Toyota SWS race of 2014. O'Connell rolled a 3. That puts him inside row number 2 of this one. Corey Fancy is going to be all smiles, but he's got to get around the veteran. Gale Chase on the inside on the front row of the pole sitter. We go green and into turn number 1. It's Chase out front. Fancy moving to second. And a big storm behind. O'Connell there in spot number 3, watching everybody to the left of the screen. Good side-by-side racing. And we're going down the short chute. O'Connell and Fancy right there. Chase will slide up the track, but won't lose time. Okay, no, never mind. He does. Now Fancy right there. We are train racing, as we like to call it. And they're bumper to bumper to bumper. Look like they're the chain connecting all of them. Oh, and around goes Chase in front of the leaders, or in front of the field. And Resnowicki losing a fender of it and into the dirt. Don't know exactly what happened. Couldn't tell right away. But Gale Chase spins out. And he's going to make a U-turn and keep it going. So that was an interesting turn of events. That'll put O'Connell on the top spot and Fancy back to 4th. So where in the... Oh, we've got the smoker now. Of course that would happen to Kevin O'Connell. He is now losing power down the front straightaway. It looks like he's probably going to just park it right there. We might see a caution of it. That's not the safest spot to be. So Ware inherits the lead. Michelle Nagai in the 2nd spot. And Fancy in 3rd. What's going to happen here? I imagine we're going to see a full course caution. That 59 car is not moving. It's smoked all the way till its finish on the front straightaway. get a caution. So we'll be back for this one. Gonna try this one with 4 laps remaining. Where and the guy, your top 2 as we go. Green flag, 4 to go. And Fancy looking to the driver's left of Ware into turn number 1. Ware's gonna lead it in. Fancy does have some nose damage from the incident with Gale Chase over in turn number 5. So out front, the number 38. Where? Here comes Fancy in that number 29. Damage and all, as well as Bear Resnowicki looking to the driver's left without a left front fender. And Fancy had to cut Bear a break there to keep from damaging more for both vehicles. So you got 2 cars, second and third, that have damage, that are chasing down your leader of Ware. Michelle Nagai in the 4th spot. And a great drive up through the few cars. Gale Chase in the 63. He started at the tail end of the field on this restart. So out of turn number 9 they come. And it's going to be Ware leading them away across the line. Here comes Chase to the inside of Nagai for spot number 5. Michelle Nagai, Gale Chase. And Michelle doing a great job. But Chase getting the better of Michelle into turn number 2. So on a track that you'd figure downforce would play a major role, it probably still is in some way, but you've got 2 drivers, second and third, like I'd mentioned, battling it out. But the fastest car might be that 63, but time is not on his side. He's got a lot of ground to catch up to the leader. Meanwhile, there is a battle for the lead. Bear Resnowicki looking all over the back end of Ware. Where is Ware going to try to hold off Bear? You like that? I just came up with that one too. Bear Resnowicki to the driver's right. He makes the pass for the lead in turn number 8 and 9. Right at dead smack in the center of turn number 8 and 9. And the car with only one of 2 fenders now leads this race. And you can see where the speed difference is. Through the corners, that 3 car is better, but Ware was all over that back end of the number 3, going down the front straightaway. So Bear can't slip up at all. He's got to just make a ton of ground in the corners so he can stay out ahead of that fast charger number 38. And take a look at the fender here now. Lost it in that incident with Fancy and Chase. No left front fender at all. See the damage on Corey Fancy's machine. And Gale Chase looked as if he just ran in the dirt. Now I gotta give a big shout out to Michelle Nagai and her entire team here in the Toyota SWS Southwest Superlates. She has had an incredibly challenging weekend out here at Willow Springs. Had to mess with so many different mechanical woes. And for her to be running in the top 5, it's going to be a win for her, no matter what. And we had a car go off track. It'd be George Atkinson Jr. I looked down, and there's a ton of dust flying around. White flag in this opening race here at Willow Springs Toyota SWS. It will be a return trip back to victory lane if Bear can hold off and win this one. Or it'll be a first time win if Ware comes and passes Bear Resnowicki. Time will tell. Bear's car looks strong though. He's just got to keep it on the pavement or slide it out of turn number 3. Good tight racing right here from third on back. And the guy on the bumper of Chase. Well, there's no denying that Bear Resnowicki knows this track like the back of his hand through turns number 8 and 9. Your leader, who took the lead with one missing fender. I can't get over that. Here on a fast track for the Superlate models. Down the front straightaway he comes. Bear Resnowicki back in victory lane in his number 3 machine. Battle for third as they cross the line. It's going to be Fancy getting the better of Gale Chase. What a great opening round of the 2014 Toyota Southwest Superlates here at Willow Springs International Raceway. Can't wait to see what the rest of the season brings ahead of us. Till then, thanks for watching. Here comes your winner, Bear Resnowicki, opening round of the Toyota Southwest Superlates. And a little bit of a drift show, freestyling it at the top of the hill in front of the Budweiser balcony. The wheelman, Bear Resnowicki.